Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
How are we all doing tonight?
I'm tired.
Me too. I'm very
Fair.
tired. I was up all night
Yeah.
for the past 2 nights.
Also,
Oh
my
no.
tablet cord is tangled. Hang on. It's not tangled. It's just like. So when I join voice chat, I typically put my headphones on, and to do that, I have to remove my external speakers, and the speaker cord got tangled up with the tablet cord, but it's fine now. Right now, it's tangled with my headphones. Cords, everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time I use my drawing tablet, it's a nightmare because I'm like in a noose almost of so many cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just looking around, plugged into my computer, I currently have my tablet, my USB hub, and my headphones, and like obviously the charger, but that's kind of out of the way. The USB hub has my external, my wireless mouse receiver, a bunch of other things that I don't actually use that much, but it's easier to keep them in than it is to go and plug them in every time I do.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the Amiibo power tag and stuff. Okay, there we go. I'm actually ready now.
I have too much plugged in. I have the mouse, peripheral, my USB port bus thing.
Yeah.
Then I'll have and then it's a bunch of other things attached to it sometimes.
Hmm.
So I'm sure we have a lot of fun things to talk about tonight.
I saw something from the quartering that I think that you might want to talk about if you know anything about it, but I don't. As
What
in, I
was it?
don't know anything about it. Something about recession and Biden's cognitive test or something. I don't know anything
Oh
about
boy.
it. Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to start the show off spicy, I can go right into it.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is funny. Biden today. For those who are watching, and I'm going to break the fourth wall. Unfortunately,
Oh, who
we are
cares?
recording on July 28th. By the time this goes up, it will be Wednesday the 3rd. Today, Biden came on national news and told the world we are heading into a recession and we need to spend more.
Ah, because that's how
Mm-hmm.
you solve a recession.
No. The worst part is the White House, for the past 3 days, has not only been denying we are in a recession, but was flat out trying to change the definition of a recession.
Ah, just like they changed just like someone else changed the definition of something else that's important, but we're not going to talk about that.
Does it start with a V?
Yes.
Yes, we are talking about vultures. I mean, and technically it's true too.
Wait, really?
No, I'm saying they are vultures.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is there suddenly a new taxonomy thing I need to know about?
That would be wild. That would be
Okay,
wild.
listen, I
um,
have a weird relationship with taxonomy,
mhm.
Yeah.
and Nate knows full well.
Yeah.
All I'll say about it is I hate the existence of tree shrews.
You have my curiosity on that one.
So tree shrews are basically, they look like squirrels. They are more closely related to primates.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. It's cool. And what are they classified as?
I think they're like, I think they're
Uh,
technically their own thing, but they're most closely related to primates, and I think of primates most closely related to lemurs.
Ah, gotcha. I love how we just went on go over the recession to
Yeah.
let's bitch about shit. But
I will take any excuse to bitch about taxonomy.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We've always had these nice little tangents that are always fun.
Yeah.
And it's normal for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even when we were just playing Minecraft, we would launch into 2-hour discussions about Skyrim.
Oh yeah, that was one of the funnest episodes too.
Yeah. Too bad it
but with
was
the
like, it immediately led into issues.
Yeah. The cognitive decline thing with Biden, I think it's a both Democrat and Republican thing now. They want Biden tested to see if he's all upstairs.
Okay.
And if he's not all upstairs, that means the 25th Amendment has to be invoked, which takes him out of office, which puts the cackling hen in as president, and Pelosi becomes vice president, and we're fucked.
The question is, which is the lesser of two evils here?
Oh, I'm going to say this, and I cringe saying this. My heart as a conservative breaks to have to say this. I think Pelosi would be the best case out of President Shits and Vice President Giggles.
Yeah, honestly, I think I agree with that
Yeah.
because at least she would know what she's doing.
Yeah, at least you would have the normal corrupt embezzling that politicians are used to doing instead of not knowing what today is or what yesterday was. Because her husband's going to be getting in trouble for embezzling, or not embezzling. What's the term that Martha Stewart got arrested for? Insider trading. Because he bought a bunch of, I don't know if it was stocks or actual chips, but he invested in the company that got the grant. Make to make superconductors. I think they're called the chip thing.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like a big thing, and it's just all a big mess. But politics, it's been interesting to watch it sometimes lately.
I made a Twitter rant about how much I hate politics, despite talking about it so much.
I saw it.
That was a very impromptu and impassioned speech.
Hey, sometimes politics is cancer.
Yeah, and even a mutual of mine who I've known for 12 years, was like, we don't really agree on much politically, but I do agree with this.
And then of course Twitter went like, yeah, I'm just gonna eat the first post
Yeah,
of this.
I don't know why it did that. I noticed something was off while I was typing, so I think that Twitter just kind of ate the first post because I pressed the add another tweet after writing that tweet, but whatever.
But we're looking at strange times.
Yeah.
Especially going into a recession. Do you remember the recession with Obama?
Yes, I was about to say, this is the second recession that I've gone through in living memory.
Same. We didn't have a recession during Bush. Oh, I think we might have had a recession during Bush.
I think the recession that we are thinking about started in Bush and then went through part of Obama's first term.
Okay, so okay, that makes more sense.
As far as I know, Obama wasn't remotely responsible for that recession.
I mean, he didn't really help it that much, but he wasn't responsible.
No. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to fully put the blame on Obama, but it's hilarious that Biden in his times in office, both as vice president and now as president, I've seen a recession.
Mhm.
I just find that a little humorous.
Yeah. That looks. Why does this layer always end up on top?
So, what other interesting subjects will there be to discuss on today's podcast?
I made an adoptables thread, and I am in way over my head.
Yes, that is definitely something we should talk about because that'll also give you a chance to plug that.
Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
only really applies to Flight Rising players, and I don't think because okay, the Flight Rising community is very socio-politically opposed to the stuff that we talk about in this podcast. I don't think Flight Rising players watch this.
Good point. We're harsh Well, I wouldn't say we're harsh Republicans. We are more right-leaning and centrist than these crazy.
We are basically all center, except for Dark, who is moderate left.
And each day more I see, I become a little further right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the joke that, or not really joke, but the phrase, I guess. The who radicalized you? You.
You did.
Yeah.
I love that meme.
Yeah. But yeah, like everyone here, I think is closer to the center.
Mm-hmm.
Giga's never.
Because I'm still.
Giga has never talked about it, but the fact that he agrees with me on most things tells me that he's probably a centrist.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, I would describe myself as center-leaning left.
Yeah. And I'm center-leaning right. But
And I'm right-leaning center.
but it's with me, it's not so much that I'm leaning right because that's the conservative way. I'm leaning right because that's the way that makes the most sense to me.
Or you could also say you're more right-leaning because the left keeps going further and further left.
Well, yes, the left keeps pushing the center further and further right, but the issue, or not the issue, the point that I'm trying to make is that I'm not a conservative. I just have more conservative ideals because that's what seems to make the most sense to me.
Right. I mean, there are some good talking points on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will agree, green energy is a great way to go, but they're going about it all the wrong way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The LGBT community does deserve better than it gets, but
I'm always for the LGBT community.
But when you push it to the degree that the left has pushed it in the last 10 years, then no.
It used to be recognize me and make me equal. Now it's let me teach your kids about these things or else you're a Nazi bigot.
Yeah. Or actually hurting actual trans people because you want to feel special.
Yeah.
And
let's not forget the fact that they're trying to bring pedophilia as part of the LGBT community.
Yeah, and I am not going to mince words here. Non-binarism does hurt trans people. I don't care what you personally identify as, but when you start pushing for surgery that you don't need because you're not dysphoric, you're making it harder for people who are dysphoric to get the surgery that they want and the surgery that they need, because when you're dysphoric, you are disgusted with your own body to the point where you are revolted just by seeing your sexual characteristics. I know most of us in here know someone in the Sardonic server who has been very close to suicide because he can't get the surgery that will make him feel good about his body.
Well, I don't hide the fact that I have friends who are trans.
Yeah.
I've never once had the fact, and they even come out and say what people are doing to hijack it just because it's a trend or a fad to become like that.
2 of the regulars in Sardonyx are both gay and trans, and they hate the whole Mogai non-binarism thing because it hurts them to a degree that most people don't realize and nobody talks about, because the mainstream narrative is that if you don't agree with non-binarism, then you are a bigot, you are transphobic, even though non-binary is not trans.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't care what you personally identify as. I don't care if you decide to use pronouns that are impossible to pronounce, or you refer to yourself as a bunny or as an it. I don't care, but the issue is that you are perpetuating something that is driving trans people to suicide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, I just hate seeing the world go crazier and crazier because people are getting hurt. And
yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say the left in general.
The far left.
Because the far left, it's like a game for them. And that disgusts me.
Yeah, because obviously not everyone on the left agrees with all this stuff. Most of them are like Dark in that they don't really care what you do with yourself as long as you're not hurting anyone. It's just that the far left is preventing people from seeing that it is hurting people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. I have that stinger before every episode of the podcast where I talk about how diverse we are. We actually are.
Yeah, like
Go ahead.
Like I am a disabled white female who's on the center slightly right. Giga is a black male who is center, probably also slightly right. It would be helpful if you would actually confirm this, Giga.
Yeah. Sorry.
Nate is a white Christian male who is center slightly left. Phoenix is... You're white, right?
Complicated. Oh, yeah, I'm white.
Phoenix is a white male who's moderate right, probably leaning center. Dark is a white male who's moderate left. We are extremely diverse.
Mm-hmm. That's if anyone ever watched this outside our small circle, and they would attack us for being racist, homophobic bigots, I could just point to the cast of how diverse we are.
Yeah.
It's like, and shit.
Not even to mention, Dark is bisexual. We have LGBT representation in the podcast. It's just he's not here today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also ace as well as Kuda.
In my case, that's kind of complicated because I think that my asexuality comes from a physical issue.
Fair.
And I sexually identify as Batman.
I sexually identify as a velociraptor.
Any trigender pyrofoxes here?
Apparently not.
Cyanide and Happiness fans? Come on.
Well, yeah, but like I think everyone knows the joke, but that doesn't mean that they would speak up to identify as it. I like how we just.
It also should be noted that I am very likely autistic.
Oh yeah, I'm autistic too.
But
so is Dark. Yeah. And Phoenix, did you say that you were autistic?
No.
Okay. I can't remember who is and who isn't, honestly. But yeah, me, Nate, and Dark are... Oh, me and Dark, and possibly, most likely, Nate, are all autistic.
I'm a different bag of cats.
That's an interesting turn of phrase.
Really? You never heard that before?
No.
Oh, yeah. I've always heard that before, different bag of cats.
Okay then.
Okay,
got-
yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing that phrase too.
Oh,
Okay, to be
damn.
fair, it took me until I was like 17 to hear, or rather read in that case, the word cunt. Yeah. And like the person who said it was really surprised that I had never heard that word before.
See, I've heard that word before many times, but I never knew. I always just I thought it was a bad word to call someone. I never knew what it actually meant until like late
Fair.
high school.
I mean, to be fair, it
Fair.
is a bad word to call someone.
Unless you're in Australia,
Unless you're
or
Australia,
the UK.
Or apparently
Yeah.
Canada, because that's like because Canada is basically just snowy UK.
It should be noted that there is a slight difference in, like, kind of pronunciation, I guess. So, Americans, when we say it, we say cunt.
Very harsh,
When-
very hard C.
yeah. When they say it, they say cunt.
Interesting.
You know, it's a lot more casual.
Well,
Which is the
thing
country that pronounces it kunt?
That sounds vaguely New Zealand?
Mm.
Okay, so the thing is that the American accent is very open-mouthed, very loud, very forceful, compared to like British, for example, where the mouth usually remains mostly closed. I watched a video on how the American accent sounds to non-Americans.
It's just so odd hearing American accent sometimes.
Well, yeah, because we don't think of it as an accent, but yeah, we are all speaking in the standard American accent.
Yeah.
Plus, we also have different dialects based on where we are in the United States.
Yeah,
Yep.
and there are different accents based on where you are, but most of the time there is a standard American accent that most of the country uses.
Like amongst
And-
us, none of us have accents.
Hmm.
At least I don't hear them.
Well, no. I was gonna like, like even Dark doesn't really have much of an accent, I think, because he talks to Americans a lot.
I would say that there's some notable pronunciations between us
Yeah,
that point to accents.
Oh yeah,
Um,
nuclear.
Fuck.
Yeah, there
that
are
will
like
be a
minor
forever.
things like that about how we pronounce certain words that sort of reveal where we're from. Like, for example, I say soda. Who here calls it pop?
Not me.
I'm about
Not
50-50
me.
with pop and soda.
Yeah, New York calls it soda.
Everyone in the state that I live in calls it pop, and it annoys me. And it's like to the point where I called it soda once, and someone was actually confused.
I had a girlfriend back in the early 2010s. She was from Michigan. She called it pop. And when I first heard it, I was like, huh, that sounds weird to my ears.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where you're aware of what other people call it, but where you are, you call it something specific.
Exactly. Like there's some people who just call it cola.
Yeah.
Or Coca-Cola is just universal.
No, it's Coke.
Actually, they
Coke.
call it Coke. Yeah, that's mostly
Cola
the deep
is-
south.
Cola is a specific kind of soda, like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, that sort of thing. But you know, in France, they basically fucking call it lemonade.
What?
Well, rather, lemonade
doesn't
refers to
surprise
like
me.
Sprite.
Oh yeah,
That makes
I've
more
never
sense.
heard it called that before.
and yeah. So basically, not just France, but just about anywhere in Europe, if you order a lemonade, it will be carbonated.
Yep.
Oh, I would like that. I've just been experimenting with carbonated drinks, like making my own. I want to try that now.
Wait, yeah, I remember this. Remember us having this conversation about this on public.
And if you order water anywhere in Europe, it will also be carbonated. If you do not want carbonated water, you have to specifically say you want tap water.
I never knew that.
Yep.
That's a very useful thing to know if you're ever traveling abroad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, Europeans never put ice in beverages.
Oh yeah, because they live so far north. It's the same reason why they don't have AC, because
I mean, that's not even really the reason, but
well, yeah, but basically they don't need to make themselves cooler, like we do. And yes, there was a double meaning intended there.
but I mean, it really has nothing to do with ambient temperature. It's just it never entered their cultural, consciousness to put ice in their drinks.
That's interesting.
So their drinks are
That's
just
fair.
they just keep all their drinks refrigerated to begin with.
Probably. I don't know exactly.
I just can't picture drinking warm stuff.
And actually, yeah, that actually brings up another thing. In a lot of places in Europe, beer will usually be room temperature.
Yeah, I've seen that before. That's something I wouldn't hate, depending on the beer.
Yeah. And they consider that the ideal way to drink beer, too.
I can agree. Some beers would definitely taste better warm.
Nah, that's way too bright.
I have no room in my inventory for anything.
Oh, no.
Like,
What are you
I
playing?
just killed Diablo.
Ah.
I can't. That's all I've been playing. I just killed Duriel, the Act 2 final boss. And normally you don't get shit from him as a drop. He literally drops town portal scrolls, and that's it usually.
Oh.
I got 3 set items and a unique shield, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with all these riches. And they're all good items, too.
Also, we briefly touched upon the whole adoptable thing and then got distracted.
Yes,
Phoenix, I want to show you one of the accessories.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute. That is so cute.
Oh, it's in there. Oh my god! That is adorable, and it's fitting for what you have on screen now with the Voidling.
Yeah, I mean, I made the Voidling custom to the Fox. And
Oh,
there's
okay.
also another one.
Ooh.
Oh, that one's adorable. I like that one a lot. That one, it just pops. Like the reds. That's good.
Yeah. And they use the exact same line art mostly, except for the tails
Mm-hmm.
and the mouth.
Now, is this the same line art style you use for when you do your other
For Protochroma? Yeah.
art and stuff?
This is
Okay.
my Protochroma style with a little bit shaved off, because you'll notice I only have one shading layer and most of my Protochroma creatures have 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I watched those speed paints you did. And I've been wanting to ask questions.
Oh?
Yeah, like when you took when you were doing the shading, you took the color off. Is there a reason for that?
So I can see.
Oh, see, I sometimes shade with color, but this past week doing my little Pokemon projects, I took the color off to do the shading, and it is miles different.
Yeah, you'll notice that when I do my shading layers, I turn it all white so I can see against a brighter background, because most of the things that I draw tend to be fairly dark. And it's not as easy to see the shading the way that I do it. And when I do the highlights, I turn it some medium saturated color so I can see against a darker background. And because there do tend to be white parts on my drawings. And then when I've done both of those, or rather all 3 of those, I take the color mask off, and then I recolor the shading and highlights depending on what looks best.
See. I was like, I picked up. I can't say I picked up these little things. But like I learned quite a bit on, especially the way you ink.
Oh,
I like the way you ink.
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
Outlines.
I know,
Outlining.
but like I don't know what you mean by that.
It's better than the way I do it. That's what I mean.
Like I
It
forget. Have
also
you?
sounds vaguely inappropriate.
I
Good
forget.
job.
Like I forget. Have you seen me drawing live when you weren't distracted by like Diablo or whatever?
Oh yeah, I pop in every now and then. Like I'm watching you now.
Okay. So, if you ever want to ask questions about my drawing process, then feel free to ask, because this is a style that I've kind of just sort of developed over the last 5-7 years. I kind of mostly adopted the hard cell shading style like right before Protochroma was basically right before Wim recruited me for Protochroma, and I've been
Yeah.
using the hard cell style since. I'm sorry, my
It,
throat
it
just did
is
a weird thing.
No, you're fine. It is a really nice style. It's like I'm
That is
still
not what I meant to
using
do.
that style for the Pokemon. I'm still using that like Pokemon style, and it's like I'm getting ready to redo my mascot, and I'm not going to be doing it in that style. Like I want to try to find my own style of digital art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you will eventually stumble on a style like that, because my style currently is kind of a weird hybrid of my old style, um, how I've refined it, and the tips and tricks that I picked up from a now ex-friend. Because, like, you'll notice that when I do my line art, when I'm done with the line art, I select everything outside of it, then invert the selection and color everything black. That's a trick that I learned from that ex-friend to fill in gaps between the color and the line art.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I've ever had that problem where there are gaps between it, but it's such a clean way to do it.
I mean, you learn how to fix those gaps over time, but like, for example, that's a good spot to show it off. Like in these little corners, you are liable to miss a pixel or three. So it's just easier to cover your bases first. Speaking of
Right.
covering my bases, so a little bit of red.
I know I've noticed you're doing it, or is it just because it's the markings that you're doing? Yeah, never mind. It's because of the markings.
What do you mean? Or
I
what were
was
you
thinking
gonna
of
ask?
blocking in colors.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
just
usually
how I
the way
do
you block in
markings.
colors.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I do markings.
Is the way you taught because I do the blocking in colors the way you taught me how to do it, which is the way
Yeah.
you do it for yours, and it's so much easier.
Hmm.
Like I can never go back to just using the marker or that one brush you gave me that I like a lot. Fill in everything. It
Yeah.
literally saves me 6 hours.
That brush that I gave you is probably the one that I'm using right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'll notice that at least when I'm doing lineless markings, I just
Yeah.
block it in. If I'm not doing lineless markings, then I just use the selection and fill. That is not what I meant to do. Okay. And when I do markings for the voidlings and voidwalkers in general, but mostly the voidlings because they're so small, I kind of just follow whatever my brush does first.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually ends up looking good. I usually think through the markings for actual voidwalkers more like more purposefully.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's because they are actual designs that I would make actual money off of, and voidlings are sold for in-game currency that while I do have basically the equivalent of $80 right now, it's not something that I need to concern myself with too much.
Right.
And also I can't, if I'm going to make every marking thing unique, I can't waste time thinking about what I want to do with it.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so like I started the thread, and then when I opened it, there was a little bit of interest at first, and then people noticed, and then I had to close the thread for multiple days so I could work on the queue, which I finally finished last night, and consider the updates, which I'm working on now, and price increases, because originally it only... I'm going to start talking in Flight Rising currency speak.
Okay.
Just be aware that 40 in this case would refer to 40 gems or 40 or 40,000 treasure, because there's a 1 to
Mm-hmm.
1,000 ratio that most people use, and 40 gems is the equivalent of 40 cents. So originally the voidlings costed 40 to just make from scratch and 20 per egg to breed. And that's because I didn't realize how much more involved making a nest of voidlings was than just crafting them. So I'm increasing the prices to 60 and 40 respectively, because man, nests take a long time, and I don't want them to cost more than making the voidling from scratch, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they need to cost more than they do right now.
Right. Make it a little hot commodity there with those.
Yeah, like it's a matter of supply and demand, except in this case, the supply is my time and labor, not necessarily how many are available.
Yeah.
That is not a good looking marking. I mean, this part is fine, but I don't know how to mirror it. Let's do this. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's just kind of how my week has been going.
My week has been bomb, and I'm not going to talk about it on camera.
Oh boy. Bomb as in good
Yeah,
or bomb as in bad?
as an amazing.
Ah, okay.
And that's not something I don't want to share on camera right now.
Fair enough.
I'll share it after.
Okay.
Mhm.
Already by your description, I think I might know what it is, but I'll wait until after. Because, like, I remember when your first playthrough of Sardonyx, you were in a really good mood one episode, and you kind of alluded to why, and you were acting basically the same way you are now.
Oh fuck! Am I really that readable?
Yes.
I am that readable, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
It probably is the same exact reason, except this time it's a little more better than that.
Ah,
Ooh.
I apologize for calling you out.
Oh no, it's fine. That's amazing that I am that readable, that predictable.
Hmm.
Oh wow, the light! I love the light effect from the eyes.
Thanks. You want it? I'm gonna save this one first, but you want to see some of my favorite ones that I've done?
Yes, please.
I need to. Sorry, I'm saving this one because I'm just making examples for the update. And the easiest way to do that is just to. Okay, there we go. Save that again. Okay. So let's pull. Do you want to see the ones that have been adopted or the ones that have not first?
Either or, your choice.
Okay, I'm already in the folder for the ones that haven't, so this is a good one.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is one of the upcoming examples.
Oh, that's a great color palette.
Yeah.
That shade of blue with yellow, that's great.
New accessory.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a sucker for a good lantern.
There's this.
Does that one have antenna?
It's it's an accessory called Lure Light. It's just like an
Okay.
angler thing.
Cute, I like it.
It's not actually part of the Voidling, but it's I don't know.
It's like a hat.
Yeah. Okay, let's find some other ones. This is a candy cane.
Reminds me of what's that water snake that's that color? Coral snake?
No, corals
No, coral
are
snake.
black, red, and yellow.
Yeah. Isn't there a snake that's red and white like that?
Yes, I think you're thinking of an albino corn snake.
Maybe. That probably is what I'm thinking of.
I love the shade of green here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't think this one needs any explanation. That's all for that. Like, that's not all that's not been adopted yet, but that's all that, like, I particularly like. I like all of them, obviously, but yeah. Okay, now we go to the adopted ones. There's that.
Oh, I love that one.
This is just a really pretty shade of green.
That is really nice.
This one's all glowy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah. This one, I just love the color scheme.
Ooh, that is nice.
That is a good color combo.
Another galaxy pattern.
What are those scratches to the top left?
Oh, like this is Kasseri. This is you know how the Voidwalkers in Protochroma have the like little flares of void at their feet? This is basically
That's
that.
what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I love the lore around the Voidlings. That one looks magical.
Yeah. I like this color combo in general.
Mm-hmm. Don't you have a Voidwalker like that, of that one color combination?
No.
I feel like I've
Well,
seen
like
something of
I
your work
have
with that
Comet,
color
but he
combo.
doesn't have the green.
Oh, okay.
This is just like one of those times where a white Voidwalker just turns a really good color because of the overlay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks almost like
That is a
antique.
really nice one. That is a really nice one.
This one is just pure grayscale for whatever reason.
Neat.
Except for like the
I love-
slight color here, but like, whatever.
Mhm. I love the trick people do entire grayscale artwork, and they pull it off to the point where it doesn't look like it's grayscale. Grayscale, Game of Thrones.
Here's that. Can I find a good one with koi? Because there's a joke that there it is. This is what I call the main character is the fish.
Mhm. I like that.
Oh, this one is super glowy. Really good color combo. Another one that doesn't need explanation.
I like that color combo.
Yeah. It's this.
I like that. I like that one.
There's this, which just looks menacing.
That looks like an Infernal Walker.
I don't know what that means.
I'm saying it looks like it came straight out of the Inferno.
Oh.
That's awesome. Princess Voidling.
I
dig the color combo. I dig that style.
the person that this one belongs to named him Bubblegum.
I like it. Ooh, I like that one too.
Yeah. Total melanistics tend to be kind of cool. Is this, which is just the glowing example, but I kind of like how it came out anyway. I accidentally made an Ace Pride Voidling. This one is cool, I guess.
I like that one.
Another neon blue and green color scheme one. Whatever this is.
I like that one too. I love
And
that shade of purple you have for the wispy stuff.
and finally, the one that I was discussing on Voice with Nate, and he was laughing the whole time.
Oh boy. Here
An
we go.
an
I'm
albino white, missing markings, that's glowing.
excited.
That's cool.
I was like, how am I going to do this? And I had to do a special I had to do the glow differently because otherwise it hid the stripes, and you need the stripes to determine the sex of the voidling.
I'm a
even
sucker for albinos.
even now, you can barely see the stripes, but you can see them.
I like that one. I recently did research on if insects can be albino.
Yeah.
That's a very complicated question to answer, apparently.
Well, even albino voidwalkers aren't really albino because it's just that their scales aren't producing. Okay, well, it differs between voidwalkers and voidlings. Voidwalker that's albino is very, very sick because it in the world that they come from, they are a species of dragon, and dragons naturally produce metal in their scales. This
Mhm.
gives them a distinctive sheen. It gives them a distinct color because the metal that they produce is a slightly blue tinge and is easily stained by the pigments that dragon scales produce. Albino Voidwalker is not producing that metal, which means its
Gotcha.
scales are brittle and it's not likely to live for very long. An albino voidling is just not producing the black pigment.
Gotcha.
So, like, I can't stress enough, voidlings are not voidwalkers.
hmm
They are modeled after voidwalkers, but they are not voidwalkers. It means that voidlings don't have as many rules as voidwalkers do because they're not natural creatures. They were created.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
hmm
Like, I could go this entire podcast going into Voidwalker and Dragon lore
Hmm.
because Voidwalkers are my babies, and and I have put a lot of effort into them.
And nothing wrong with that. Passion you have for him is awesome.
Sorry, I'm dealing with a spreadsheet now because I need to mark off the examples that I've done. Okay, this one. Name a color.
Cerulean.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'll do green next, Nate. Would you consider this cerulean?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone name a number between 1 and 100.
87.
Okay, it's female. This is basically just kind of like how I roll voidlings in general. Because I roll 1 to 100, and if it's below 50, or rather 50 and below, it's male. If it's 51 or higher, it's female.
That makes sense.
Sometimes I get confused, and if I land on 50, then I just roll again.
I feel like at that point you might as well just flip a coin.
Yeah, but that, like, I'm using random.org, and I don't like having to change the number too much because that can lead to me forgetting to change it back, and that leads to weird rolls for everyone. I could do the way
Actually,
that Mystery Dungeon 2 did it, in that odd numbers are male and even numbers are female.
mm,
Oh, that's how they did it?
What?
I didn't know that's how they did that.
Yeah, in Explorers, if you recruit or if a Pokemon spawns on an odd number floor, it's a male. If it spawns on an even number floor, it's a female.
And I assume the genderless don't count for that one?
Correct.
That's cool. I never knew that.
Okay, let's see.
That was a weird mechanic.
also, to make my color more specific, just because I want to see if you can actually make the color good, how about chartreuse?
Oh boy.
Oh, good
Oh,
lord.
God.
It is like the ugliest color ever.
Give me a hex code and I'll work on it.
Uh,
Not right now
I
though.
yeah, I know, but I put them. I put some examples of chartreuse in.
Oh, I mean, I've done that first one. That was the shade of green that I liked. That's
Oh,
what Flight Rising players call radioactive. Because there is a color very close to that called radioactive.
uh, yeah, the color chartreuse is named after a type of alcohol.
Ah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe it's technically an aperitif.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe not. Nope, not an aperitif. It's a liqueur. Okay.
Mm.
I enjoy a good liqueur. Have you ever had Washnufka?
I have not.
Good shit.
I want to try. Okay, so like this is weird to say in this context, but I know that sometimes it's just made with liqueur. I want to try an authentic affogato, and
Hmm.
if it's made with
Yeah.
liqueur, that's fine. If it's not, that's also fine. I just want to try it because my attempt at doing it did not go well because I used nitrated coffee, and that was not a smart idea.
I would like to try a good drink made with absinthe, or just absinthe in general.
Yeah.
I also want to try Irish coffee.
Oh, it's delicious.
Like, when it comes to absinthe, what is your opinion on the licorice flavor? More specifically,
I don't mind
anise.
it.
But okay, because that's gonna be what it tastes like.
I know. I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah,
I've
no,
been. Go ahead.
there are people who just cannot stand licorice. So
Oh, I know. Like I recently was at like a Mexican market kind of thing, like Hispanic
Mhm.
foods and all that, and I found anise flavored lollipops, and I bought a bag of them.
nice.
They're good. The weird thing is they have the seeds in it too. It's like the seeds are mixed in with it,
Hmm.
and it's
Yep.
just it was the most odd little treat I've ever had. But it's really good.
Um, something that I've seen a lot in uh, Hispanic convenience stores is literally just candy coated anise seeds.
I've seen those two before. I will say this: I love trying other cultures' sweets. Their candies.
Yes,
It's just so much better than what we have in America.
Well, that's because
sometimes.
that's because of two things. One, we're not used to having it, so it's different, so it's exotic, so it feels better than it normally would. And two, they
Mhm.
use different ingredients.
I know.
Yep.
It's just like, especially with Mexican candy, it's always so much different
Oh
flavor.
man, like when
Mhm.
I lived in California,
A lot of
m-
sour and spicy.
my mom
Yes,
would
and it's such a
Sorry.
odd.
when I lived in California, my mom would bring me those little circular marzipan things. I forget what they're called, something Della Rosa.
I know what you're
I know it.
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I've had
loved
those before.
them.
Those are good.
I loved them. I can't get them as easily out here.
When Walmart first had their international aisle, one here when they remodeled it, and they had like an all of a sudden international aisle. They had those, but they never got them back in, and it pissed
Mm,
me off.
Aw.
yeah, I love them, and it's so hard to get authentic Mexican stuff out here.
hmm It's always hit or miss. It's like when they have it, but then either buy it all right away, or you're never going to see it again.
Yeah, like I have to go to an actual Mexican restaurant to get good horchata. And in California, I could just buy it in stores. And when I say good horchata, I mean actual good pre-made horchata, not that bullshit drink mix.
Class. I am very familiar with class.
Yeah.
Also, something that I wish that other types of restaurants would follow in the footsteps of, you know, especially like Hispanic restaurants in an area with a lot of Hispanic people, is aguas frescas just available in the restaurant.
What is that?
Aguas frescas. The collection of drinks that are usually just in a line of big jugs that you see
Ah, okay.
in, yeah. And also like at at like fairs and stuff with Hispanic populations, you'll see aguas frescas stands.
Okay.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's
Uh,
so presentable, kind of thing. Looks nice.
yeah. Like, here's just a picture of some aguas frescas.
Oh. Huh.
Mhm.
That's not what I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about.
It's super aesthetic.
Yeah. And usually it's served by grabbing a ladle full of the drink and putting it in a cup.
Oops.
I'm just really tired of like restaurants that don't have, you know, a huge selection of non-alcoholic drinks. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah. Oh, that was another
like they
thing. I
have, 5 pages of beers and wines and spirits, and then,
nothing else for that.
like,
Yep.
and then like we have Coke products.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
always upsetting. That was
Like,
another
don't get
thing
me
I
wrong,
picked up.
I don't mind alcoholic drinks, but sometimes I don't really want an alcoholic drink. Sometimes I want something just nice and refreshing.
And I don't really
Exactly.
like alcohol by itself, and even with the rum, I have to have it with something. So
That was another thing I picked up while I was at the little like market thing. They had like drink mixes for specific Hispanic style drinks.
ooh.
And I
Nice.
picked up a tamarind one and a hibiscus one. The hibiscus one's
I
almost gone. It's
love
so good.
tamarind.
I've never had it before. I can't wait to have it.
It's really good. It's a flavor that you can't explain to somebody who's never had it.
Oh, then I'm definitely
Literally
gonna have to
impossible.
have tomorrow. I've been almost engorging myself almost on the hibiscus because I love hibiscus as it is.
Like, it's gonna be one of those things that you taste it and you're like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, because it just doesn't taste like anything most white people have had.
Right. This is why I love trying other cultures' food and drinks. It's because it's something so. I don't want to be offensive by saying this, but alien to us.
It's not
Yeah,
offensive.
yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, it's so foreign to us, and that's why I love exploring other cultures, food, exploring culture in general. I love. That's one of my. I love it. And then you get accused of cultural appropriation just because you're enjoying a drink from another country.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I love the Japanese people, the way they see it. If you're embracing their culture, they adore it. Same with the
Yeah.
Chinese
Yeah.
people. They adore it.
And the thing is, a lot of these other cultures, almost all of them, love it when you're, interacting with that culture. It's always white people who get offended over,
Yep.
It's
quote
not just
unquote
white people, it's a
appropriation.
specific white people.
Mhm. I mean,
It's
that's it.
always the same haircut, the same attitude, the same name. Fucking Karen.
That said, I have occasionally seen people of certain cultures claiming cultural appropriation. Usually from Chinese, actually, from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Really?
the Chinese can be iffy about it, but in general, the that area of Asia tends to be imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
Because
A lot of times it'll be younger Chinese people who
Right,
tend to
okay.
be influencers and stuff.
Right, okay.
See, the Chinese family I used to know, they adored the fact that I would embrace their culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would encourage it and teach me certain things. Like I learned when I was friends with the girl. Her family owned the Chinese restaurant here, or at least one of them. I learned a lot from my time spending time with them. They were so happy that I was so enthusiastic, want to learn more. People are just too soft.
People want an excuse to be offended.
Yep, 100%. To all the people who cry this cultural appropriation, I don't want to see you eating pizza. It's offending my culture.
I don't. I don't want to see you eating potatoes.
Okay, Italians
I
are another one that they tend to get really upset over food in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fuck up Italian food, we're going to come after you.
Okay. I want to bring up something that I call gatekeeping culinary edition. Let people make food the way that they want to. You only have a right to complain if they're trying to serve it to you.
I just bitch about how people think Olive Garden's the best Italian food in the world.
Right.
Okay,
but like I saw like something from, I don't even remember what website it was, but it was people bitching about how Americans make non-American dishes, and
I've seen that shit before.
And there was stuff like cream-based carbonara and putting things in, like, was it a poke bowl? I don't know, or whatever you pronounce it as, stuff like that. And it's like, can you guys like not?
To be fair, though, cream-based carbonaras are kind of gross.
Well, like, if someone likes it, then let them like it. My point isn't if it's good or not. My point is if someone wants to make it that way, let them.
And there's also the fact that then what is a carbonara? If you can make it with cream, like
right,
you start to lose the definition of what it is. Unfortunately, like that's another thing.
Well,
and it can also get chalked up to the fact that if you go to one place in Italy, then go to another place in Italy, it's going to be very different food. It could be a cultural thing across Italy itself.
Yeah. And no matter how you make a bolognese, it will always be wrong. And somebody will be offended whenever you make a bolognese.
I'm not going to lie. Italians do get uppity with their food. I should know. We are. I'm at least half Italian. My mom's full blood, and we don't get like that. But there are times where we will roll our eyes with some of the stuff we've seen.
I just don't like gatekeeping in general.
Well, sometimes you need to do. Well, I'm not saying gatekeeping with food, but there are some things you should gatekeep with because it allows in toxic people.
Well, they're going to be there regardless of whether you want them to be.
I will say the Warhammer 40k community has done a good job of keeping out the woke.
But like, I just disagree with the notion that you can gatekeep a fandom.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right.
No, I mean, I'm saying I don't think it's possible.
Well, if the woke are in 40k, they haven't shown themselves yet.
Like, they might not participate in the fandom, but they're still part of it.
Probably. And that's another thing. The 40k fandom, it's actually kind of very open. Especially, like, as shocking as this is, but the painting side of it. You'll have your purists, but the purists get attacked for criticizing too harshly.
Are you
very
pleased,
encouraging
Nate?
to experiment.
Are you pleased, Nate?
Yes, I am. I am very pleased.
That looks really good.
I just worry that it will be difficult to see. I might darken the green just a little bit.
But yeah, I will say, like, when it comes to food, I generally disagree with gatekeeping, but at the same time, there should be definitions for what a dish is.
See,
Otherwise,
that I can get
you know,
behind, but like what I'm talking about with gatekeeping in the culinary community, I guess, is people act like you can't even make something a certain way regardless of what you call it.
yeah.
You know what I don't like, and I don't know if I'm an outlier on this, but fusions, like combining two different kinds of food together of different
I don't mind
cultures.
that. I don't mind that.
I can't say it's like offensive. It's just like the ones I've tried are not good.
Yeah. A lot of times it's kind of a brainless fusion, where people are
Mhm.
just like, oh, let's just, you know, put these things together without thinking how they go together.
I mean,
Exactly.
wouldn't you technically consider Tex-Mex a fusion?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's two similar things, wouldn't you say? Southwestern and Mexican.
No.
Oh, I thought it would be.
Is this an acceptable shade of green, Nate?
Yes.
Okay.
And you could really argue that any modern cuisine is a fusion
Yep.
of previous cuisines.
Very true.
At
That is
least in
very
America.
true.
Not just in America, like,
I said at least in America.
Yeah. Like, there's no singular Chinese cuisine. There's like 20
Mhm.
different Chinese cuisines that all have their own distinct flavor profiles, and you know, like Sichuan cuisine is very, very different from Cantonese cuisine. Uh, you know,
Yeah, like every part of China is going to have a very different style, I guess you could say.
yeah, yeah. Like in the south, there tends to be more rice. In the north, there tends to be more noodles, wheat, uh, stuff like that.
Mhm.
In the interior and in the south, there's more chilies. In the north, there's more just like hearty food. Yeah.
Sounds good. I can go for some really good Chinese food right now.
Indian is another one that there's no singular Indian cuisine.
Right.
Like, you know, Gujarati food is going to be far different from, you know, uh, why can't I think of any other places? But, just like they're completely different. But at least in America, we think of them as, one singular cuisine. Like, oh, it's
Mhm.
Indian. Like, doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't, because even if you go to India, like they have like I think it's like over 10 different versions of their own language. You got
Uh,
Hindi.
they're different languages, like not
I
just.
know, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're in India,
Uh,
you can go to North India or South India, and it's going to be a completely different language.
yeah. So generally, in the northern parts of India, you have Hindu as the Hindi as the primary language. Misspoke there. Wow. And then in the south, you have various Dravidian languages like Telugu or Kannada.
Mhm.
And you run into this thing where what's the difference between a language and a dialect, and it's not exactly clear a lot of times.
One thing that stays the same is their swear words. They're useful to pick up when you get a scammer calling you. You use their own language against them, oof, they hang up so fast. It's like, oh shit, I've been caught. Click.
How's this, Nate?
That looks cool.
I love the pattern on that.
Hmm. Oops.
What the hell happened? I'm so slow all of a sudden.
Mhm.
I don't know what I did, but my character is so slow all of a sudden, and I didn't change anything from this afternoon. It's weird.
Maybe you've got a debuff.
Oh no, it's just like I noticed it after I killed Duriel. It's like I've been walking a little slower. It's odd.
Hmm.
Like a bug or something. Like if I never got because Duriel does ice damage. Like I never got healed from it, despite like being an entire new act now. I might relog to see if that fixes anything, if I can find the portal.
Name a color.
I don't.
Somebody else name a color.
Mauve.
Good color.
It is.
Okay. That.
I think that's mauve. Well,
I thought mauve
I'll give
was
you
like a darker red.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like a wineish color. Give me a second. I'll give you a hex code.
Okay, I guess not. Wow. I look it up in Google Images, and there's not very many that are the color I
Wow.
was thinking of. Interesting.
Oh, it's like I thought it was a lot darker. But if you want the hex code, I have it.
How about this?
I think I was thinking of maroon.
Oh, that's nice. I like that shade of pink.
Hex code, sure.
E0
E0,
B
B,
0
0,
FF.
FF. How is that darker?
I don't know. I was always thought mauve was like a wine color. I do like mauve. It is a pretty shade of purple.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, I
either
think we were
this
thinking
or
of
this.
either maroon or burgundy.
Yeah, let's go with like that one. I like the darker one.
Okay. Gonna saturate it just a little bit to keep in the whole design thing. Actually, no. Because if I do it this way... This is one of those cases where I don't know if this is a base purple or base red.
Color is weird.
Yeah, but it
I
like
agree.
actually matters here.
I would say
Yeah.
try purple.
Okay. Yeah, that works. I can make it more purple in the shading and stuff. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make this a galaxy pattern one, which is gonna be interesting.
I can't believe we actually made at least almost a whole episode without me going off on a tangent and talking about Pokemon. I'm impressed. self-control. Of course, there's nothing to talk about except me. It would just be a bitching rant. That's about it.
Uh,
I don't like the lack of news. Let's just say that.
it's typical, though.
Mm-hmm. Like, I have an idea. I know the window. Like, we're going to get something before August 4th.
Yeah, just be patient.
You know.
I mean,
It's
it's
just like
weird that
August
it's
4th
this
is when the...
quiet.
Say that again, Giga?
I said it's weird that it's this quiet.
Yeah, but I think it's
Yeah.
warranted given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Pre-orders go live on August 4th. We
Ooh.
will get a trailer before that.
I thought that we
Probably
already
a
had
whole
pre-orders.
in like physical stores, but like the
Oh.
official pre-order.
Okay.
Like you were able to pre-order at GameStop back in February.
Okay. I thought that there were pre-orders on the eShop already.
No.
Yeah, there are.
No. There are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that when I pre-ordered Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, then I saw the that.
And what was it? It was something announced at the end of that music trailer about pre-orders. Like I think that's when they're going to announce the pre-order bonuses. Rather, that's what I think's happening. And they're going to have to have a trailer for that.
Okay, I need to see how I did this the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I don't
And
remember.
I honestly think it's going to be a full Pokemon Direct at this point because there's always a Pokemon Direct in August.
Okay, this looks like I used an actual brush.
Not always.
I thought recently there was the past couple of years.
I mean, we've had a couple, but not always.
Okay.
Like the most recent ones we've had were always in February.
Okay. I know we're with Worlds coming up, and I know they filmed the live-action trailer in Spain because that was all over more than just the internet. People were like on set taking pictures. Like there's stuff coming. It's just Pokemon realizes they don't need to do much work because they're going to sell anyways.
Yeah.
So what else is there to talk about
Anyone's
this week?
opinion.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering, this lack of news, does it help or hurt the hype for the games? In your opinion?
I don't
Neither.
think it really has much of an effect.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Pokemon, so Money Machine Go Burr.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I think the Pokemon Company International has finally realized that. And it's just like we can spend less on marketing because people are just going to buy the games anyways.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I know. I would like to know at least the name of the region instead of knowing it through a leak.
That's probably going to be the next trailer.
I would hope so. I think the next trailer is going to be the gimmick, the name of the region, probably riding on the legendary Pokemon.
Okay, I'm going to hazard a guess at the next trailer, which will, I assume it'll include at least one, if not all, probably not all, but, at least one of the following. Region name, possibly regional variants, if they're doing that this gen.
There's a few.
Obviously, like, gameplay footage of battles showing maybe new moves, either a hint or just outright revealing the gimmick, and at least one important character.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I agree. I expect some of the gym leaders to be revealed, but that's because it might be cheaty to say it. Because the trailer did leak before the big leak happened.
I don't want to know.
I know. I was just saying they just showed like I know some gym leaders. That's about it. I don't know them. I just know what they look like.
Hmm.
You might guess on what they are though.
Hmm.
I will say I love the art style for this game.
Yeah.
It's just weird. There's like no mass outcry for Scarlet and Violet. No mass hate. It's refreshing.
I think everyone's exhausted from Gen 8.
Yeah.
I think it's also like when they announced open world, like fully open world, it got people really excited.
Okay, people were excited for Sword and Shield until like Dexit happened. So
Oh yeah, I know I was. Then it like really hurt excitement for it.
yeah, I'm saying like it's still too early to see if there will be any widespread hate, and honestly, I think there will be because it's Pokemon.
Can never make everybody happy with Pokemon.
Yeah. I still maintain that Dexit should have happened in Gen 5, and it almost did.
Yeah.
According
I
to
think that was them testing the waters and it didn't
no,
work.
according to
then,
Did You Know
people-
Gaming, it almost did happen in Gen 5.
I mean,
They
it was
decided-
very obvious because
They decided very
recreated.
late into development, okay, we're going to add the ability to transfer old Pokemon in.
like, if they did stick with it from that point on, I think I would have been that point on. That point on, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, like that's why I think it should have happened in Gen 5, because it was still fairly early, and it would have set the precedent and ripped off the Band-Aid early.
Exactly. And if we were getting 150 new Pokemon every generation and that was it, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that they should adopt the Digimon model,
Yeah.
where like
But
Digimon don't come out in generations. They're kind of trickled in through the VPET, through anime reveals, through all those other things. Sometimes that
Through
some
the
of them
TCG.
are made for a specific game, and
Mhm.
no Digimon game has every Digimon.
right.
At the same time, though, that makes it difficult to know all of the Digimon because there's like way more Digimon than there are Pokemon.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of them are just recolors.
Yes, because
Yep.
of how Digimon World 1 had to work.
Yep.
But my point is that Digimon has never set the expectation that every Digimon will be available.
And those games are always good.
Not always.
At least the two I've played.
That
And
is not
I
a
can't
good
say
sample
two.
size.
You know. But it's a good start.
Let me tell you, there are some awful Digimon games.
Yeah.
Isn't there a new one coming out?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks
Survive, I think.
I don't know if it looks good or if it doesn't. And if like, I don't know how to judge it.
Yeah, like biggest example of a bad Digimon game is called Digimon World Championship.
Technically, it was just a adaptation of the VPETs.
Yeah, and like the worst thing is that its mascot Digimon is actually really cool.
Yeah.
What was its mascot, Digimon?
Dracomon.
Ah. Was that in Cyber Sleuth?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd probably recognize it then.
It digivolves into it was in Cyber Sleuth because I remember
It
having
has
both
a
Cordomon.
distinct branch evolution.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
All I
most
know
mascot
is
Digimon do.
Playing Cyber Sleuth
That-
and seeing how they do evolutions. It took me so long to get used to that mindset of I can just reverse everything and go a completely different path.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was very refreshing and unique. Where the fuck do I buy keys?
Man, this looks cool.
Does.
Oh yeah, something. My game is definitely bugged because outside of Werewolf, I'm a lot faster. It's like my speed got swapped between Werewolf and human form.
Hmm.
It's weird. Because Werewolf, you're supposed to be a lot faster, which you are.
And since I posted
Ooh.
Dracomon, maybe I'll post the entire Digivolution line. There's the champions.
Look at
Blue
this.
and green.
That's pretty.
Ooh. And then the ultimates are where the Dracomon line gets really weird.
I do remember
As
Dracomon and
expected,
Cyber Sleuth.
What was that, Giga?
I said, I was responding, Nate, saying ultimate was where it got weird, and I said, as expected of Digimon.
Yeah. I mean, Digimon is a franchise where it makes sense for Nate. What was the Tapirmon thing that evolution line that you?
For a tapir to digivolve to a unicorn, which can digivolve into a hippogriff, which can digivolve into a bird.
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes. This is a franchise where it makes sense in the individual steps for a tapir to turn into a bird.
Yes.
Oh, I remember. I had my starter Digimon and Cyber Sleuth was a gear. It's the gear thing.
Haragurumon. Yeah.
And I loved him. And he became a robot, and another robot, then a dragon, and a crane, a mecha
Yeah.
dragon.
Hang on, I
Yeah.
made
The
a
weirdest
custom
shit out of
Digivolution
this.
line for one of my favorite Digimon. I need to go retrieve images.
It was a very interesting game with how wacky it got with the evolutions.
Yeah. So I made a custom Digivolution line for my favorite Digimon, which let me find a good image of the rookie. I will.
Hey, it's the crane dragon.
Oh, that
Yes.
yeah.
Breakdramon.
I remember I hated it and I reversed it so fast to go a different route. I was like, this isn't my little dragon. I want my other dragon back. And I think I forgot which one. It started off as really cute and ended up becoming like this ultra demon thing.
uh
Like Armageddon Mon became in the end.
oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Cyber Sleuth's line for that is.
It's a giant inter-
Armageddon or Apocalypse?
both. I had both on my team.
Nice.
Which one's the upside down pyramid?
That would be
That would be a
Apocalypse.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I had both that one and like the giant spider one on my team. It wasn't the movie.
And there are like no good images of the mega form that I'm looking for. I'll just go with the fandom one. Yeah. So I made a custom Digivolution line where in the individual steps, it makes sense for this to turn into this.
I mean,
Okay.
when you know about Digimon, that also just kind of makes sense in
Oh
general.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Also, that second one is one of the most powerful Digimon out there.
Yes. And the first one
Really?
is a random evil grunt Digimon that appears in most seasons as like the main henchman of one of the bad guys.
So that's the Meowth of the
Yeah,
show.
kind of.
Okay.
And
It is-
also, that second one has an equal sign in its name.
Yes. Let me just type it out.
Oh, I was already.
Okay, now how do you pronounce that?
Oops. I typoed.
Equals, not a.
Would it be
Yeah.
just Moon Millenniumon, or is it
I
Moon
think.
equals Millenniumon?
I think it's Moon Millenniumon.
Okay.
It was
The
also like
Japanese properties, so who knows?
it was also like the main villain of like a game on the fucking Wonder Swan, I think.
Yes.
Was it gigantic, or was it just like this? Because that's a weird Digimon, a thing trapped in a crystal.
I don't think it has an official size. It's
Mm.
exactly
Well-
as big as the plot demands it to
Oh
be.
yeah, it's as big as the plot wants it to be, because
Case in point, the Adventure reboot.
case in point, this.
But to put it bluntly, like within the lore of Digimon, Moon Millenniumon should not exist.
And yet somehow it does.
Yeah, that's what makes it so scary, is the fact that it does exist. And it really, really shouldn't.
Yeah,
Why is that?
it's
It's a
complicated.
fusion of Digimon that are bitter rivals.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of like is it Chaosmon or Chaosdramon? I can't remember.
I think just Chaosmon.
Okay, which is I think the lore is that it's a combination of Digimon that are like actual enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, play more
this is
Digimon to understand
Chaosmon.
this shit. I like its design.
It's a fusion of Bantyo Leomon and
Darkdramon?
I forget the name of the other one.
Darkdramon.
Darkdramon, yeah.
Yeah.
Darkdramon is specifically created to hunt down Bancho style Digimon.
Yeah.
So them fusing is like it it shouldn't happen.
And this is not in any way related to the process of creating Chimeramon, because that's actual fusion. That's like genetic splicing fusion, except it's not. It's like inserting code from one program into a different program and expecting it to work. But what we were talking about up until now is actually called Jogress, which is when Digimon actually like fuse into a new thing. Chimeramon is an actual digital chimera.
That's cool.
Yeah. And actually, Moon Millenniumon is from the whole Chimeramon thing.
Yeah.
This
Because,
makes me
like-
want to play the second half of Cyber Sleuth now.
Because like I think that the thing is that Chimeramon digivolves into Millenniumon, and then Millenniumon and I think Machine Dramon fuse into Moon Millenniumon.
Machine Dramon goes into the creation of Millenniumon along with Chimeramon.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I was actually wrong about the lore of Moon Millenniumon. Existing within Millenniumon's inner world, it is a soul Digimon. As a result of Millenniumon's dark spirit becoming a Digimon, it does not possess a fixed form. Although it often takes the shape of a crystal, it seems that, due to its hatred and anger against the enemies who oppose it, that shape can be changed. It's
That's some wild ass lore.
yeah.
And there's also a third Millenniumon called Zeed Millenniumon, and I don't know
Yes.
anything about that one.
That I definitely remember from the Adventure reboot.
Also, like, I'm looking up Gazimon Digivolution lines because apparently I'm not the only one who likes Gazimon enough to do that. And there's a really interesting one where it's like Gazimon into Dobermon into Subarumon, and then one shows it going into Anubismon, which is really cool, and another shows it into Ancient Sphinxmon, which is like, wow, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
I will say the designs for the Digimon, like when I played Digimon, I was always going in with the mindset of Pokemon. I like the designs better in Digimon.
Yeah. Ooh, I really like this one. Hang on. So
And also, like, evolutions are kind of whatever in Digimon, as long as it makes vague sense.
yeah,
Pretty much
like
any
this,
Digimon
for
will
example.
evolve into any other.
This, for
Yeah, it's
example, with,
dragon becomes dragon with a sword, then dragon with a gun.
and then into an Eldritch Abomination.
Exactly.
Yep.
Anyway,
Like I still love the. God.
like, I just posted this custom evolution line, and one of those Digimon, besides Gazimon, obviously, is actually like my favorite Mega, and that is Leopard Mode Leopardmon. Even though I still call it Duftmon because that's his Japanese name, and that's okay. So another minor issue with Digimon is that nobody can agree how names should be localized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not just the Digimon themselves, but like terms within the Digimon universe. Nothing has like an official translation. It's insane.
Like, these are all the same Digimon.
Yep.
And I remember you pointed this out. They change in each game they're in, don't they?
Kind of, yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, so they change until they get standardized.
Mhm.
Like, for example, it usually when the anime makes a decision on how to localize something. Because, for example, Chirinmon is what the Digimon is named now. It's Keelanmon in Japanese. Sometimes it got localized as Kirinmon, and Digimon World Dawn and Dusk localized it as Teelanmon. But
Can you
as
imagine if Pokemon had this issue?
but when
Yep.
when the anime showcased Chirinmon, they made a decision. It is Chirinmon, and that's what we've been calling it since. Similarly, fuck, what was it called? I just had it in my head. I don't remember now.
Oh no.
Okay, well, there was also like Leopardmon, which in Japanese and in Digimon World Dawn and Dusk is called Duftmon. And the anime showcased Leopardmon and decided it was called Leopardmon.
Yeah, you gotta give it. At least they have simple names.
Uh,
Sometimes. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Then you have Animalocarimon.
there's another one. Hang on. There's one that's like ridiculous. I don't remember it offhand.
There are a lot that are ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but there's like Apocalypse creepy mode. There was okay. I'm going to show you one of the stupidest localizations ever.
Oh no.
I just love it's like the attempt to be both family friendly and edgy at the same exact time.
Yeah.
Demon to Creepymon.
Yep.
Daemon.
Yep.
Like that's how I would pronounce the middle one, Daemon. First one, how is that even supposed to be pronounced but demon?
Because it's Japanese, so
Oh,
Daemon.
gotcha. Okay, it makes sense when it's in Japanese.
Yeah.
Uh, Nate, on that note, so I don't. Fuck, I can't even begin to pronounce it. The thing that you posted is usually just called Scorpiomon in English.
Yeah.
And then a real Scorpiomon was created, so now it's Skull Scorpiomon.
Yeah.
And there's
So their attempt to retcon something's name is just add another word to it.
Kinda, yeah.
oh my god, there's okay, I found it.
Oh boy.
Fake Agumon expert.
Yeah, because Agumon
Yeah.
Expert is this one.
Or Nisei Agumon Hakase.
I'm reading this page and it says Agumon Expert is an exceptionally intelligent Agumon that received a doctorate from the Digital World Academy, a university in Digital World. So why not just call it Doctorate Agumon, Professor Agumon, or even just Expert Agumon instead? Agumon Expert makes it sound like it increased its difficulty level. Even worse is Fake Agumon Expert, a less knowledgeable Agumon that spreads misinformation, which could have and should have been called Fake Expert Agumon instead. Alternatively, maybe if Agumon Expert was called Doctorate Agumon, Fake Agumon Expert could be called Plagiarist Agumon or something along those lines. It's plagiarized off the real Agumon Expert's work after all.
What the fuck?
I love it when Digimon just goes full meme.
Yep. Oh, no. Like, Fake Agumon Expert was one of the ones I was thinking of, but, this is an actual Digimon name.
Oh no. Yes.
Yeah,
Stoutmon. Wait, hold on. Stoutmon X7 Superior Mode Royal Knight. That's up.
You're
I don't
gonna
remember the Royal Knight part.
you're gonna hate this, but that's not X7, that's Cross 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
fucking hell.
Here.
It's as ridiculous as I thought it would look.
Cross Wars was an interesting time. AKA Digimon
It
Fusion.
looks like something out of Power Rangers.
I liked Cross Wars. A lot of
Yeah.
people really hated Cross Wars. I liked it.
I only saw the first two parts of it because that's
That's
all that
all
was.
you need.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, another thing with Digimon, the anime has kick-ass music.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Rest in
one
peace,
of the English.
Wada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The English version of the Digimon Frontier opening music is not only excellent, but it sounds like the Elder Scrolls theme.
Oh, it's awesome.
But yeah, Cross Wars. Your mileage may vary on if it was good or bad, but it was certainly a season.
Season.
Yeah, the first part of Cross Wars was good. The second was great. The third was garbage. I hated the third part of Cross Wars so much.
Cross Wars, what are we doing anymore?
Let's see, there's probably more. I found a Reddit thread. Oh my god, what the hell is this? I'm sorry, is this real? It is real. What the fuck?
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Is there a
Crosswords.
reason for them to be in a mouthful?
Modifiers.
Yes.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is from
Crosswords was-
Crosswords when Digimon could go all Power Rangers, and so the names of the Digimon were just the constituents.
Word vomit.
Also, just to get an image preview.
Jesus, I was not even expecting it to look like that. That's silly. The devil if it was a penguin.
Partly because one of the constituents is Daipenmon, and I mean, just get an image of Daipenmon. Like, there's Daipenmon there.
Oh my god, I have another one for you.
Just a penguin holding giant popsicles.
Yes.
This.
Digimon, everybody.
I mean, that's probably because Americans can't pronounce Odyuken.
I mean, I guess.
There, and then when we get to the more sane ones that are just long, Shadow Wergarurumon, Giga Waru Monzamon, Chaos Gallantmon Chaos Mode, Imperial Dramon Paladin Mode, which is a sane one in that like we are used to it because it's like the second fucking season. There's a lot of insane Digimon names.
Yes.
There's like 3 different Digimon that are called Sistermon.
Yeah. I don't feel like explaining. I mean, they're all just variations of the same thing.
Okay, I'm looking at like a list of top 10 weirdest Digimon, and I keep forgetting that there is basically a dinosaur that's a child soldier.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's called Commandramon.
Hmm.
Literally with an M16.
And with digital camo, which I think is clever.
That is. I like the
Yeah.
I like the digital camera thing. Ammo thing.
Oh my, I forgot that there was a Digimon based on the fucking Kabbalah.
Yes.
I forgot about this one.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
It's called Sakakumon, and like, why is it based on the Kabbalah? It's called
Digimon.
Sephirothmon in Japanese.
And isn't it like isn't the official English name Mercurymon?
I think so. No,
Why
wait.
ruin that?
Kinda.
No, there's like a Mercurymon and a Mercurymon, and they're like spelled slightly
Oh.
differently.
I can see why
Yeah,
they
like,
don't
'cause
have
Then
every
there's-
Digimon.
Front, yeah, because like in Beast Frontiers, this was the Beast Spirit metal. Just
Yeah.
this thing.
Do you want to see a Digimon that, weirdly enough, doesn't even look like a Digimon?
Yes.
Zenimon.
This. I'm not even going to question it.
Oh,
What's it
and then
called?
there's a
Yanmon?
bunch of Digimon that are just people,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the angels.
Venusmon.
Oh my god. I forgot about Betsumon.
I like that one.
Nate, help.
Betsumon.
Nate, help. I genuinely forgot about Betsumon.
What's that? Oh god.
It's
Oh
just a
god.
furry.
Oh god.
It's just a
It gets
furry.
worse the more I look at it.
Yes.
Quick,
My
get
eyes
some
were
other
drawn to the belly
Digimon.
button. My eyes were drawn to the belly button at first, and I noticed the bulge. What the fuck, Digimon? This is why you don't nuke a country twice.
I like how it's a Digimon that's just a furry.
Yeah.
And more were the parents losing their minds about this one.
Because Digimon is not oriented towards small children, it's oriented towards young teenagers.
I wouldn't.
I also don't think Betsumon has ever showed up in the
No.
anime or games.
No, it has not.
Thank
What is
God.
it in only?
I think only the TCG.
Oh, okay. That thing's cursed.
Yes. Let me just look. Wait, it was in Young Hunters Left Through Time? Oh right, it was.
Well, now I'm glad I didn't see that part of Cross Wars.
It just like disguised itself as various Digimon in that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I've seen images of
What
those.
is the Digimon that disguises as a sword?
What? You cut out a
Looking at
lot
this.
there, Giga.
Sorry, I'm just laughing and
Is
just
that
like,
Examon?
why 6?
Oh. Maybe it wanted to get back to its Gatomon roots. Also, is that Examon
Which one?
in 8? Examon. You know, the Dragon Royal Knight.
Actually, yeah, that might
Oh.
be.
Examon is
I
actually one of my
don't
favorite
know.
Digimon, too. Okay, I have more interesting names for you.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Okay, that one's not that bad.
Ultimate Chaosmon.
It's just
A
edgy.
little edgy, but okay. The edge is starting to be the point where it can cut itself.
This is more cool if you know what it's from.
Ooh, I like that one, Fang Wongmon. That
Yeah.
one sounds nice.
Yeah.
This one is also cool if you know what it's from. I just cannot pronounce it or spell it.
Susanomon.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Yeah, that is a pretty cool Digimon in the last lackluster season.
yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is Shin
Musamon.
Monzemon? Oh, it's only appeared in a V-Pet so far. Oh, this one needs to come to a game soon. Oh, I love it. Look at Shin Monzemon.
Ooh.
That's
I
cool.
want that
You
to
know-
come to a game.
Oh,
You know, low key, or rather, actually, very, very high key. I want them to remake X Evolution
Yeah.
because, like, I can watch it on YouTube. Animation quality is kind of shit. Video quality is definitely shit. but the story was actually really good.
It was also very confusing because
Yes.
it works on a lot of assumptions.
It assumes that you know about Digimon.
Yeah.
It's not a good introduction to Digimon, but it's
No.
excellent if you're familiar with at least some of the lore.
It really helps to be familiar with X-antibody lore.
I really
So
want
to
them to
close
remake
out
it.
the episode,
Oh.
as we have reached
yeah,
the 2 hours,
that's what's
do
happening.
you have
isn't
any
it?
more crazy ass Digimon names for us?
I think that I've oh, there's a Google search here.
Tyrant Kabuterimon. What has Tyrant Kabuterimon been in? Couple video games. Okay.
Oh, that's a cool looking one.
Nothing relevant.
Ooh. It's not technically a Digimon, but there's one called Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
I'm always interested when there's a good reference like that in any game. It's not a Digimon though, you said?
It's complicated, but no, it's not Digimon.
Okay.
It's
complicated.
difficult to explain.
It's really difficult to explain. The best way to explain it is that it's sort of the god of the Digimon world, but that's also not entirely accurate.
I think
Okay.
technically it's the server.
Yeah.
Like it is the will of the
Oh.
server itself. So
And it just hates everything all the time.
Yes.
yes.
Digimon, everybody.
Also, I don't know what it's called, but there's this thing.
Evil
Oh
Cranamon.
god,
A Inekimon, believe. Ineki. No.
Now, see, with all these
Not it.
designs, I think it's a good idea to not keep them all in a game.
To be fair, I think that this one is an Atmon.
No, I don't think
Oh?
it is.
It's not?
Let's see.
I'm not sure if that Digimon, but I've seen something similar in the reboot.
So, like, Atmon are interesting.
Sekimon. That's right. No,
Because
that's not right. That's Meteormon.
Because Atmon are a subset of Digimon, and I'm not sure how to describe them.
It's
They're like smartphone app Digimon.
yes. Also, I found the pencil. It's a Kakimon.
Ah.
That's what I was thinking of.
I was close, kind of.
So,
But yeah. I don't feel like explaining Atmon actually.
anyone want to plug anything before we fully wrap it up?
Play Protochroma.
No.
Definitely play Potochroma. So that's the time I should start doing the outro. If everybody watching enjoyed this episode of the Foxfire Podcast, episode 31 of my end, we've been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, leave a like, share it around. It helps us all grow as a channel, and we all do appreciate it. Be sure to check out every link in the description below. They are all very important to check out. And with all that said, see you all in the next one.
See you guys.
Good night, everybody.